Look at me and stop that. Dad,
What?
stop.
Okay. Wide open. You know that's going to look really dumb when we go to play that back, and you want to see yourself, and then you're holding your hand up in front of yourself so you can't see.
So it's not here we turn. Thanks for handling the birthday card, Liz. I appreciate that. I wish we could hand them a few hundred for their honeymoon. Good question. Well, we went to Disneyland.
The video guy said, "Are you sure you want to use? Are you sure you want to use some of my video on yours?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. It depends if you get some shots that I wasn't able to get or something." He says, "Well, my style's a little unorthodox because he's like this MTV, keep the camera moving and all, doing in-camera effects that you can't undo and stuff. You know, that's kind of his style."
Yeah, I was watching him when they were cutting the cake, and he's going this way.
It's more like
he's going that way.
It's more like he's using the camera as a brush to paint the scene, you know, and keeping it constantly. Which,
during the wedding, I was like, I couldn't tell you what happened because of all the emotions and the nervousness and all that. It's just like such an intense thing that I'd want to be able to sit back and watch it just like a person in the audience and hear every single word. Now, we didn't have a sermon in it because to us, we didn't want a sermon. I didn't want a sermon at my wedding, so I wouldn't want to go back and listen to a sermon. But whatever I had chosen to have in it, I would want just a recording, like a TV camera there saying, "Oh, here's you know, that's what I personally would want."
You
now,
mean
everybody's
you would
different.
sit there for like 2 hours?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How many
Because,
times though?
I don't know, but that's what I'd want. And then you can fast forward and move it around and watch the part you want. But that's what I personally would want, because the day itself, when you're in it and you're the one getting married, you're just like so out of it in a way, you know, experiencing it as the bride. It's so intense that I'd want to be able to just sit back and watch it from some calm point of view and see what really did happen, you know, and be able to watch the other people and, you know, just all that stuff. That's what I would want. And I'm guessing that that's probably what Renee does. She does a pretty true-to-life recording, and what he does, I mean, if you could have both, great. Because if I could have, okay, this is what really happened, but if I was watching his and that's all I had, I think I'd be wishing, well,
I don't think
so
that's
what did the
appropriate for an
ceremony just look like?
entire wedding. Yeah, I don't think that would be appropriate.
But don't you think that's what Renee does?
What he does?
No, Renee.
Oh.
Do you think she does what I'm talking about?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
See, that's
well,
what I want.
not quite. I mean, hers doesn't wind up being 2 hours. I mean,
Well, most
She had to sit down
ceremonies-
to like 40 minutes, I think, or
Most
something.
ceremonies are not over a half an hour. Theirs was longer. Most are pretty darn short, and then you got the reception and all that. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. You were saying that you would rather have. I mean, it would take 2 hours worth of videotape or more, maybe 3. And you would really want to sit through
Mike,
3
I was
hours?
talking about the wedding. The wedding is about a half an hour.
Oh, so you would only want just the ceremony.
The ceremony, well, once you get before and after the ceremony, there isn't one event that you just record straight. You know, when you're in the ceremony, that's the only thing going on. So that's what I'd want a straight recording of. Before and after, yeah, get what you want because there's lots of stuff going on. And
So would you want you would want just one camera shot on the bride and groom and the preacher,
Well, I
or would
like-
you want a variety of shots so you could see the other people watching?
yeah,
and stuff?
I like the variety of shots idea, which is what Renee does, right? She has one on a tripod, and then she does some other ones. I think that sounds really nice. And I mean, I don't know.
I'm just trying to get a handle on what you really. So what you really want is only during the actual ceremony itself would you want just straight through with no cuts. But on the other parts, like the reception, the before and after, you wouldn't necessarily want that straight through.
No, because you
Okay.
got a whole bunch of stuff going on. I mean, you get the cutting of the cake and things like that. But the rest, the before and after is
Okay.
the socializing and all that. So you just. But the actual ceremonies where I'd want to be able to just sit and watch it all the way through.
Yeah. Well, that's only that's a few minutes of it.
So what I'm thinking is, when somebody's getting married and they're going to have somebody videotape it, you need to really sit and talk with the person about what that person does, because it sounds like from what this guy does to what Renee does represents quite an extreme.
The extremes there.
And if you've seen his work and that's what you want, great. If you've seen what she does and that's what you want, you just need to know what you want so that you're not paying out all this money and then you get it and you're going, well, that's not what I wanted. That's really boring, or that's not what I
Well, and
wanted.
a lot
I
of
wanted to see
times,
that.
a lot of times, what the customer will tell you what they want and what they actually want are two different things.
But
Because if you haven't, it's like, I mean,
Well,
to a
isn't
certain
that-
extent,
isn't that where a demo comes in? Because like this guy's demo is going to be really different from Renee's, I'm guessing, from what people have described of his stuff. It would look very different. And so you look at Renee's, and that's pretty much what I'm guessing that she's doing, pretty standard stuff, what people would expect. But his, you look at it, and maybe most people would love it, but I have a feeling there'd be some people who are a little more conservative that wouldn't.
I think the younger people might like it. One thing I'll say about his is that it makes people look it makes them look better than they do in a way, because there is a distortion there.
Well, I'd like to see it, because from what I've seen him doing, I don't think I would like it. But yet everybody says they love his stuff, so I'd really like to see one of his to see what it. And I guess we'll see the one he does for Dave, right? Okay, now I take one. No, I take
Go
one.
straight.
So I'm very curious to see what he does, especially with the wedding that I was at. Aren't you, Liz? Do you know what you want? And you
Well, I was able to videotape Dave playing that song, that piano piece. So I think what I'm going to do, what I'm pretty much going to start it off with, is him sitting at the piano in his tux, playing that song, and then have that song come up under.
Is that when he was waiting for her to come in? Yeah, that's.
And only I'm going to use the cleaned up version of the song because he couldn't play it without mistakes then. But I'll use. And then I'll pretty much go right to the ceremony, and then I'll do the before and after stuff later.
You're not going to do it. So why do you think? Why do you want to not do it in chronological?
I mean, I'll put some before and after stuff. I mean, some before stuff before it, but not, so that you can watch the first half of the video, and within about a half an hour you can get right to the final vows and stuff. And then the last part will be kind of like outtakes and stuff and silly stuff, and so that put the most interesting stuff up front. I mean, the most impactful stuff is going to be right at the end of the ceremony where it says, "I pronounce you man and wife," and the vows and stuff like that. But I'm definitely going to cut the sermon down because that's part of what the preacher gets out of it, is that he gets to get his stuff in, and he wrote that. They didn't write it, and
they wanted that. they wanted that. They talked.
I might put the entire thing at the end or something.
And it is not hard to believe that they wanted it. I mean, that's what they. I have never. I mean, I went to church all my life, right, growing up.
Yeah.
And so I went to various weddings and all that. But even with all people that have gone to church, that are Christians and believe that's the most important thing, they don't usually, like the toasts and all that, talk about how she's such a strong woman of Christ. And man, I mean, they're just like, their belief in Christ is, they can hardly say a sentence without saying thank Jesus, praise God. I mean, they're really into it. And even growing up, around people going to church, and the people I know that go to church, like Pam, they don't talk that way. So they're really, really into it. They really wanted that sermon.
See, when you edit it, you're editing it for different audiences too.
Yeah, that's
so. If I was going to include I might
put it at the end. I like
put
that.
it at the end.
That's a nice idea. And what else was I going to say? Oh, I was just so relieved because I read somewhere on their website that there would be a chance for people to accept Christ, and I thought, oh man, they're not going to have like an altar call during their wedding, are they? But they didn't. They just talked about it and said, if you want, you could always talk to anybody, talk to me or them during the reception, and it's like all their friends, they're already saved. All the relatives already know they can talk to them about it if they want to know anything, and they don't want to ask them because they don't want to open up the floodgates. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
they even brought it
you got to realize at some point you're talking to adults, and they've either, You're not going to
use any of our audio here, are you?
Well, I was going to play it back for Dave.
Great.
So I just want to.
See, I hate this.
No, I'm not going to do that.
It's like I hate when that's playing. I hate to even talk because I don't know who's going to listen to it later.
Nobody's going to listen to it later. I'm basically gathering stock footage here.
Okay.
I think someday it'll be fun to look back on this when this is all underwater.
You won't be looking at it.
Somebody maybe. They'll find this CD floating in the box on the surface, and they'll look at it and they'll think.
Play it.
They'll think.
What format is this?
They'll take it to like a history museum. Oh my God, this was
Well, they won't know it was, they'll think it was like some sort of a primitive tool or something. I remember as a kid just staring out the window while the car was going along and seeing all these things that you can't see when you're driving.
I still do that. You don't get to do it though because you can't pass it. You totally lost that.
I'm doing okay now?
Yeah. But I don't care because I like just kicking back.
That's we don't want to broach that subject.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
We've got a setup that works.
Let's just say your mom.
He's too naggy of a pass.
Your mom went through a phase where she was bumping into things. And,
oh yeah, and any little thing I did, he's got impressed on his memory. Anything he did, he's managed to erase. It's very interesting.
When I start driving.
Yeah, you might be going with me, Liz. For one thing, you don't want to have to be hearing about it 50 years later.
So what I'm recording here is the past. To us, it's the present. But as soon as it's gone, it's the past. And anybody watching this, it'll be the past to them. So that's why I'm recording it, because I'm taking a picture of what this drive was.
I've got a whole notebook, and I recorded things that I learned in the past.
There you go.
My notes in class.
There you go.
Elizabeth, you're going to write a report that will be about things you learned in the past.
I sealed this card.
Oh my gosh, it's a record of the past. Wow. And Dave's birthday was in the past because they were giving him a belated birthday card. But we gave Daniel his birthday card for a birthday that's coming in the future. It's not even here yet, it's still in the future.
This is what the valley looked like before the big floods, before the big Earth pole shift, before this was all put underwater.
This is what it looks like after it's been underwater, too.
Yeah.
It seems like wherever you go, everything used to be underwater, and I don't know how that could be. If all the Earth, if every continent at one time used to be underwater and pushed up, or it's like, hey, wasn't something always above water?
It wasn't all underwater at the same time. That's what it was. That's how it works. It's not like the entire Earth was all underwater simultaneously.
But there hasn't ever been a piece of continent that's always been above water continually.
Maybe there was.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. It seems like everything done. Of course, we only hear about our continent, but even with just our continent, wasn't there ever, like the Appalachians, were they maybe...
Mount Everest may not have been underwater. But maybe it was.
That's so amazing for me to think about this. Himalayas that are... Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Oh.
Okay.
So something other than that?
Something different? I may have been like some. You might have some kid in your school. Some people go, he can really rap, you know, or like that guy that was doing the mic, the May thing, you know. Might have been that kind of a guy that was. It seems like.
So is he the guy that comes on when they've got this girl singing, and then all of a sudden this guy comes in and starts
Really deep voice.
in the middle of the So he must be like the producer of it or something for them to let him do that.
He's got his own albums,
Yeah,
and he
that's
gets them to do it with him.
Yeah.
He just knows how to put it, how to get. Yeah, he's a collaborator, you know.
Oh. So that's how they get him to do it, is that he produces the album. So
I don't know. This is your story. You're the one making this up.
I see.
Sometimes he does their songs on their album. Sometimes they do songs on his albums, right, Liz?
Sometimes they do a song together and it goes on both albums.
So we don't know who's producing.
So he has their permission.
Well, you have a CD. We could look on there and see who produces it. What's the song where he actually sang? Was that a J-Lo song? Is that with J-Lo or who's that one? Mary J. Blige, right? He can sing. I like him a lot. I like his voice a lot better when he sings.
Yeah.
It's cool because it's so low, and when you hear that low a voice singing, carrying a tune, you know, it just sounds cool.
Well, it's good to know that he does have the ability to sing.
Yeah, he does. It's good. He's much better. My opinion.
If I zoom in on this truck. Oh no, stop, we're gonna hit that truck.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make it real. Mike, look how close I'm getting up there for you, and you're just ignoring that. Look at those straps. They're flapping in the breeze.
Flapping straps. We got some flapping straps there.
Got some music going on there. Yeah, he's got a cab. He's got a mighty cab. It's one of those sleepers. Oh, look at the teeth. Oh, that's some fangs going on.
Oh, I think I've seen trucks.
You know, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Is this our exit coming up?
Should be able to see the McDonald's sign.
Right now, snaps.
Well, actually, I was thinking if you guys want to, we could even stop in and say hi.
Oh, Liz, we can stop in and say hi for a few minutes.
You might not be there, but
It smells good.
Well, you don't have to go in, okay? If there was a friend of yours that lived right off the freeway like that, we'd stop and say hi for you.
well, would we?
Well, like you're saying, we
might if we
should.
had plenty of time.
Yeah, you better think this
Yeah,
over.
we should be
Mike.
saying we should be saying we don't.
What do we have to be back for? Nothing. What? Yeah, well, we're meeting them in just a few minutes. Red Elk is on the way home. Where did that exit go? I didn't miss it, did I?
I don't think so. I think it'll be obvious.
I guess it always takes a lot longer than I think it's going to take. Why does it say Prosser that way?
That might be the highway we want there. Yeah, that might be the highway.
No, I know where we're at
well,
now.
no, we're going
It's
to be
gonna
going
the next
parallel.
exit up
Yeah, we're
here.
going to be going parallel.
Because we're going to the McDonald's right there on the freeway, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And must be another way to get there.
Hey, the U District Street Fair is going on today. I wouldn't mind going down there.
I wouldn't either.
I haven't gone there for years, and they usually have some pretty cool stuff to look at.
That's one of the yearly events I wanted to get video and audio for.
Like my stuff wouldn't sell there. My stuff's for older age bracket.
Older Americans.
Yeah.
Gap Road, 1 mile.
Is that where we go?
Yep.
You know, they could have had breakfast if they've been out there. They could have had breakfast with her dad and stepmom. They both live out here. But they chose us.
Well, there might be a gang there.
Oh. Might be, yeah. Okay, so maybe we're not that special.
I see the Golden Arches.
I have no idea, Liz. I wonder if that could have got left someplace.
So maybe when I do a wedding video, what you do is put the wedding video, like the 30 minutes or what, edited, and then as long as you got tape at the end, just stick like the complete unedited whole raw stuff at the end. And if they wanted to see the, every single thing you shot, they could.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Call it outtakes.
One version you can show people that's shorter, and then you have one version you can look at when you want to see the whole darn thing. I hope they take something other than cash here. Is that Amy? Is that all the balls? Yep. Hey, you're right. It is a big party.
Yep, they brought their posse.
It's the posse. It's the posse. We hear ya. They're just never. If you want to stop by our house, you look it all up on the website. You don't have that? Right on the way. You can go over to the it is lit, go up on the front area.
It's just, your hand is just a blur in this. It's sort of a digital effect. It's called Magic Pix. And it's sort of a blur kind of thing.
It's like you're stuck in time or something.
Yeah, it's sort of weird.
Cool. How'd you get that? What feature is that?
It's in the digital effects.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, how do you do that?